Alright, so I'm going to be opening up and disassembling this Dell Inspiron 175765. So for some reason it's not charging the battery, so we're going to be replacing the charge port or DC jack. Alright, we're going to be using a PH1 or JAS1 screwdriver to remove all the screws from the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. You want to keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that, I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern. I remove them, so we'll go across. We have like 4 there. You can kind of keep those in a row. 4 there, 3 here, and then 4 more down here. All right. If this video helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue removing all these screws. If you're wondering, this screw is much smaller than the others as well as this one. Again, you want to keep all the screws in order, so don't just go based off of whatever. Don't throw them all in a little bucket. Make sure to put the same screw back where you got it. Even if it looks the same here, you don't want to take the screw from here and just throw it over here, okay? If they're slightly different and you do that, you can mess up your entire computer. Alright, so let's continue removing all these screws. Okay, it's a lot of screws. Also, the customer opened this before, so I don't know if any of the screws are mixed around. Again, it's very important that you don't mix things around because you can cause issues. Alright. Also, after removing this screw, you can pop out the CD drive or optical drive. Okay, so if that's what you're trying to do, you don't have to take the entire thing apart. Okay. Thought I knocked one of the screws down. There we go. Okay, now that we got all the bottom screws out, let's go ahead and pull the CD drive out as well. I use my fingernail and just slide it up and down here as I'm like pulling on it. Okay, just like this. And you can see it wiggles out. Oh, I guess the customer, they probably broke this. Yeah, they broke one of those clips off. So it's going to be difficult to pull this out. Let's see what I can do. I might have to, okay. If that part is messed up like that, you can use a pin, a needle, a paper clip, just fold it out, get like a long one like this. There's a little hole here, you can get that in there and kind of just wiggle that around and you should be able to pop the CD drive out like that. Okay, and then after that we can go ahead and grab this tray. Usually I don't like doing it this way unless we have to, but anyways, we'll grab the tray, kind of wiggle it, and kind of, if it's stuck, you might have to, like right now it's kind of stuck there, we might have to flip the computer over like this and then see if it will pop out that way. Huh, wow, this thing is like really stuck. What's going on here? So I don't know what's going on here. Sometimes it gets caught on this plastic lip here, so I don't know if the customer did something that messed that up. Oh, I see, this screw here, they messed that up. All right, so anyways, what I'm going to have to do, because they messed that up, I'm going to use a thin little tool here. Okay, and I have to get underneath that screw there. So we're going to get over there and I'm going to block that, and now we should be able to pull it out. There we go. Okay, we're going to close this one up and we'll set this aside. Jeez, look at that. He like really destroyed that screw. Okay, anyways, we're going to take those 3 screws out. So to get those out, we're going to use a PH0 or JAS0. I'm using JAS0, but a PH0 could also work. All right, so we'll get these 3 screws out. All right. Wow, did he like just, this screw is stripped. I can't even get that out. Okay, so we got the 2nd screw out. The 3rd one, I don't know how I'm going to get this out. Okay, it's spinning. Look at this. Look, can you see the curve in this screw? Okay, let me see if I have a replacement of this type of screw so we can put a new one in there. I might have one. Okay, it looks like I have some. All right, so I think this one is about the same, but the screw is shorter, so I have another one here. Maybe this one will be better. It might be too wide though. Okay, this one might be about exactly the same. Let's go ahead and try putting this screw in there. Seems to kind of work. I think the shorter one might be better. Okay, so we'll take this screw here. And yeah, that one works. Okay, so I'll use that. I'm gonna have to replace that screw because they destroyed the other one. Okay, so we'll take those 3 screws out, of course. Okay, and let's go ahead now and pop the cover off. So to pop the cover off, what I do is I'll open the computer slightly like this. I'll get my fingernails in the little groove here. Okay, it's hard to show this because I have screws all over the place, but get my fingernails in the groove, and then I'm going to push on the back with my thumbnail. Sorry, not my thumbnail, my thumb. All right, so push on the back like this, and there you go. You can hear it popping out just like that. We're going to go along and just continue doing that. Okay, there we go. Over here, same thing. Close this carefully, slowly, because there's one less screw holding the hinge down. We're going to go around the sides and basically do the same thing. Be careful not to pull on the ports themselves. You just want to pull on the plastic. Okay. We're going to go around to this side, do the same thing. Here you can see these clips. You might have to kind of wiggle this piece around. Okay, and there we go. All right, so now that we got the sides and the front out, we should be able to kind of wiggle this out of the way. Let's see, if it doesn't come out, we might have to do a little prying over here, back here. Okay, so it's kind of stuck. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna rotate it this way. We're gonna grab here and kind of wiggle this back and forth, side to side like this as we kind of lift. And let's see if we can undo the clips there. And there we go. Okay, sorry if my head got in the way, but there we go. We got the bottom cover off, looks like this. Okay. All right, the customer actually removed the battery here. There was a battery connector here that you kind of pull this out. I might have to go ask him for that. It looks like he put the screws back here at least. One of these rubber pieces from the speakers, it looks like he dropped as well. So these speakers kind of just come up here. And there's the little rubber piece missing from it. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. Okay, so this rubber piece, you have to kind of like squeeze it this way to slide it back in and get that in there. Okay, all right, there we go. Got that rubber piece back in. I'm gonna see if the customer has the battery for me to put back, but anyways, here's the RAM. We'll pull these 2 tabs to the side, pops up like that. We can pull this out. There's a 16 gig PC4 2400T. You can use any PC4 2400T, so if you want, you can get another 16 gig PC4 2400T. It's best to have matching sticks. I don't know if they have 32 gig sticks yet, but yeah. Wireless card is here. 1 screw pops up slightly like the RAM. This plastic piece slides off, and then the antennas you pull up from the tails. You don't want to pry up from this side. All right, I'm not going to pull it out yet, but we'll see. All right, it looks like the charge port is completely underneath the motherboard, which really sucks. I'm gonna have to let the customer know because that's gonna greatly increase the cost of this repair. I was expecting it to just be on top, but yeah, it's not. Anyways, you got the power button here with the little flip latch. You can flip this white latch up and then you can pull this cable out. Fan is here with the fan connector there. This will have a connector just like the battery where you kind of grab that, wiggle it, and you can pull it out. All right, LCD, LVDS connectors right here, same thing, flip latch. If you're gonna mess with this, make sure before messing with this that you remove the battery and then open up the computer, press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds, and then you can go ahead and take this out. If you don't, there's a very good chance you're gonna fry the backlight circuit on the motherboard. You can fry the cable, you can fry this connector, you can fry your screen, so you don't wanna take that risk. The keyboard is held in with these melted plastic nubs, which really sucks. It's a very bad design, very difficult to remove. It's usually better to just replace the whole keyboard palm rest assembly, right? CMOS, BIOS, RTC, real-time clock battery here. Speaker connectors here, which actually connects both speakers because this speaker has a wire running to the others here, the other there. 2.5-inch SATA hard drive, all right? Looks like there's only 3 more screws holding it in place. Then you can pull this whole thing up with the bracket. You do want to disconnect this cable with the flip latch, and then you can pull that out. If the customer wants me to continue this, then we will go ahead and proceed. But yeah, I'll have to let them know that I'm going to have to take the entire motherboard out. All right, you got the USB and SD card slot here, which with the cable that runs underneath the hard drive and connects right there. You got this connector here for the what's that? The charge battery indicator light. All right, then you got the keyboard backlight connector here. You have this connector for the touchpad, trackpad, and then this connector for the keyboard, which goes underneath the motherboard, obviously. And also, if I didn't already mention, 2 slots for RAM, because a lot of people like to ask me how many slots there are. I don't know why, it's easy to see, but there you go. CPU is here, GPU is here. Both are soldered to the motherboard. You can't upgrade or replace them. Here you can see the model number of the, all right, there's the model number of the motherboard, BAL22, and then LA-D803P. If you replace your motherboard, make sure to check the specs and check the connectors, because sometimes they're different. Here you can see the optical disk drive, CD drive, whatever you want to call it, DVD drive connector here. This one has this where you kind of pull this latch up and then it releases this. Then you put the cable back in and you push the plastic back down to clamp it in place. Same thing on the other side. All right, not really much else to show in here. Let me see what the customer wants me to do, because this design really sucks for this. And yeah, I'll be back. See you guys in a bit. All right, so I'm back. The customer decided it wasn't worth it. So let's go ahead and zoom out. We're gonna be putting this thing back together. So let's go ahead and get this back together. I'm gonna put this here so we can get a thumbnail of the entire inside. All right, again, normally there's a battery going across here and it plugs into that. Okay, so let's go ahead and reassemble this thing. So if you're wondering, this design, the charge port goes here, and I think the plug goes underneath like this. So it's a really stupid design. And yeah, that would kind of make it annoying to repair, so I told him it would be a little bit more to do. I don't know if I even quoted originally, but yeah, this I'd have to pull this all out, take the hinge out, flip this up. It's not too bad, but customer doesn't want to pay for it. So let's go ahead and put this thing back together. We'll drop this back in on top. Okay, we'll click all of this back down. Okay. All right, so there we go. And then we just got to get all these screws back in. Make sure you're using the JIS 0 or PH 0 for these 3 here. Okay. Go. Jeez. All right. Then we'll just get the CD drive, optical drive back in, just like that. Push that into place. Make sure to switch back over to the PH1 or JIS1 screwdriver. And we'll get all the rest of these screws back in. Anyways, sorry I didn't end up doing the charge port, but hopefully this video helped you guys with other things. If it did, make sure to, again, like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, you're welcome to stay as I get all these screws back in. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Alright, let's get all these in. Alright. I believe there might also be a plastic sticker covering this one as well, but the customer might have taken it out. Maybe these two, they might have had plastic stickers covering them, because the design for where the screw goes looks very different. So I have a feeling that would be the case. All right. Make sure everything is snapped back in. This looks like it sticks up a tiny bit, but that might have been the design. I didn't pay that close attention earlier. All right. Anyways, 3 more screws and we're good to go. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this spike.